Hello students, today I am going to tell you what is the definition of the centroid and what actually the centroid is. So the definition of the centroid is, in civil engineering point of view, the point at which the total area of a plane figure such as rectangle, triangle, square, quadrilateral, circle, etc. is assumed to be concentrated is called the centroid of that area. The centroid is also represented by CG, center of gravity, or you can say by capital G, so it's gravity. So I'm going to tell you here is what the centroid, the center of the point is that where we can easily balance the shape. So what does it mean by that? Whatever the shape is, whatever the figure is, the point we get it, that is called centroid, at which we can balance that shape or plane figure. So that is called centroid. So I'm moving towards what is moment of inertia. So the mathematical definition of moment of inertia indicates that an area is divided into small parts such as dA, and each area is multiplied by the square of its moment arm about the reference axis. So you can also say, in other words, is that the moment of inertia is sometimes called the second moment of area, because each differential area multiplied by its moment arm gives a moment of area. When multiplied a second time by its moment arm, it gives the moment of inertia. So basically what moment of inertia is that how much a body resists to move. So that resistance of a body is called moment of inertia. So it depends on the mass of the body. It may be due to where it is maybe away from the neutral axis, it may be close to the neutral axis. So it's all the factors which on which moment of inertia depends. But basically what is the actual definition of the moment of inertia is that moment of inertia is what that is the resistance of a body to move. So what is the unit of inertia? So it can be in FPS system, it is inch power raised to the power 4, and in a matrix system, it is millimeter raised to the power 4. So now what I am going to tell you, so this is the question number 1. And what we have to do, we have to locate the centroid and determine moment of inertia of the irregular shape. So you can see in this figure what is happening over here. A person is trying to balance this rectangular body from its center, wherever the center of gravity is. So I am moving towards the next slide, and this is actually the question you can see over here. So the dimension of the L, it is basically L shape. And if you are watching it, so you can see what is the length of this shape. So you can see L shape breadth is 75 millimeter, top height is 10 millimeter, this is 10 millimeter, this is height of the L shape is 125 millimeter. So this is all about. Now what I have to do, I have to break this L shape into two rectangular shapes. So then I will be able to find out the centroid. So how can I do that? Let me tell you. First of all, you have two choices. Let me take pointer option here. For example, I'm taking pointer option like it's purple color. So it can be, for example, I can break this rectangle from here, so it will become rectangle number 1, and this one will become rectangle number 2. And the another method is what I can do, what I can break this rectangle L shape into two shapes. Rectangle number 1, this complete. Let me rub the other one. So I am going to erase this. Now, when I can break this L shape into two rectangles by doing this, by doing separation from here. So this will become the first rectangle and this is second rectangle. And always keep it in mind that you have to find out your origin. So it's up to you wherever the origin you are taking it. But I am taking my origin here, 0, 0. So now what we have to do, so let's move, erase all ink on the slide, and this is rectangle number 1, rectangle number 2. You can see here I'm going to solve it like this. So if you want to solve it in another method, so you can distribute the rectangle according to yourself. So these lines will show you this is the actually the rectangle number 1 center. So I can say what this is rectangle number 1 center and its xy line. So what does it mean by that? This length should be, because I have distributed rectangle number 1. So what will happen? This is 125 divided by 2. So obviously this should also be 125 divided by 2. So now you can see when I am moving towards the x-axis, so what it will happen? It will be 10 divided by 2. This will be 10 divided by 2 and this will be. So this is the way you can distribute your rectangle in two halves. So this will also be 10 divided by 2. Now I'm moving towards the getting half of this rectangle. So what does it mean by that? It means this will be 10 by 2. This is for rectangle number 2. So and horizontally what we have to do, you can see there this rectangle's length breadth is what? It will be 75 minus 10 millimeter. Why is it so? Because we have distributed the rectangle, because we are taking this rectangle from here. So we have to minus this 10 millimeter. So it will become 65 millimeter. This will be 65 millimeter. This is done. So what we have to do now, you can see, so we will distribute this half. How? This will be 65 half. So horizontally it will be divided like this. 5 divided by 2. It's done. Now whatever I told you here, now it's coming. Let me erase all ink from the slide. So you can see 125 divided by 2. So upper half will also be 125 divided by 2. You can see here this is 10 divided by 2 equals to 5. Origin is there. This is the way you can distribute this. So what does it mean by that? One more thing I want to tell you. So for rectangle number 1, what I needed, x1 or y1. So this will be y1. This is y1 and this one is x1. And for rectangle number 2, what will happen? This one should be 65 divided by 2. So for x2, what it will happen? For x2, I will consider, let me take another pointer color. I am taking red marker. So I will count it from origin. So x2 will become, x2 will become 65 divided by 2 plus 10, because I will add this 10 millimeter. So plus 10. This is x2. And y1 is what? This is y1. It's vertical height. Basically these are the halves of the rectangles. So but we have to count it or add it from origin. So you can see here this is x2, this one is x1, this is y1, this one is x2 and this is y1. Now I am moving towards the next line. Hopefully you will understand it. So then I will be able to calculate centroid. Keep it in mind, the formula for the centroid is here. I am going to calculate centroid. So x bar is equals to, the formula for the x bar I'm going to tell you how can you calculate it. So I am going to take color green, and this is summation of XA divided by summation of area. This is the formula for the X bar, and the Y bar formula is, so that is summation of FYA divided by summation of A. This one. So G X bar comma Y bar. So this is the way to represent the centroid, and this is the formula for the centroid. Okay, let's move towards how can you calculate the centroid. For rectangle number 1, the breadth and height of the rectangle is what? Or you can also say represent by D, depth or height you can say. So I am moving towards at the back. So here you can see this, for this rectangle number 1, the breadth of the rectangle is 10 millimeter and the height or depth of this rectangle number 1 is 125, and this rectangle has breadth is 65. You can see that this rectangle is starting from here, so it will be, its breadth is 65, because we will subtract 65 so 10 from 75, so we will get 65. And here the depth or height of the this rectangle number 2 is 10 millimeters. So you can see in this diagram that first rectangle number 1 I brought it here, and this is 10 millimeter. Height or depth of the rectangle is 125. So area of a triangle is what? Area, I will multiply these two terms, so I will get 1250. X1, I already told you that x1 will be 10 upon 2, and y1 is 125 upon 2. How is it so? Let's move towards the back. So what is happening over here? So x1 is 10 upon 2. You can see here, I already told you. And y1 is 125 divided by, for rectangle number 2, x2 is 65 divided by 2 plus 10, because we will add origin here, so we will add 10 here, because it is not exactly starting from the origin, but this rectangle number 1, it is starting from the origin, and I have taken origin here. And here you can see y1. Y1 is, no, it's not y1, this is rectangle number 2, so it will be y2. So y2 is equals to 10 upon 2 equals to 5 millimeters. So I am moving towards the next slide. So you can see here in rectangle number 1 what I have taken. Let me select another pointer options, and in color is, for example, I'm taking red. So it will be more prominent to you. So rectangle number 1, I have taken B and D, and then I have calculated area. X1, Y1, I already told you how can you take it. So I put it here 10 upon 2 X1, and y1 is 125 divided by 2, so it is coming out to be 125 divided by 2 is coming out to be, you can see here, 62.5 millimeter. Now what I have to do, I have to multiply x with a, so I will get xa, you can see here. So you have to multiply this column with this column, so you will get 6250. So what you have to do, xa, or you can say x1a, this value you have to multiply 5 to 1250, so you will get 6250. Then ya, how will you get it? Ya, you have to multiply this with this for xa. And for, let me take another pointer color for ya, what you have to do, it's green again, I have taken so wrong, I'm taking purple color. So for y, you have to take this, multiply with this, again with area. So it is written over here, so you will get the answer, and this answer is there. So this is the way you have to multiply it. Then for rectangle number 2, we have taken B as 65, 10 is the depth, and then we will get area by multiplying these two, 650. Then I already told you what is x2. X2 is 65 divided by 2 plus 10 equals to 42.5, and y is equals to 10 divided by 2 equals to 5. So for xa, I have to multiply this with this, so we will get xa. And for another, what you have to do, let me take black light blue color. You have to multiply this with this. So when we get it, so this will be the answer. It is written over here. So the unit will be millimeter cube. Now x bar and y bar, how can we calculate it? We have to sum up these two areas and we will get the summation of A, that is equals to 1900 millimeter square. So then XA, the unit is already mentioned over here. XA, summation of this, we have to add 6250 plus 27625. So the answer is coming out to be this. 78125 plus 3250, the answer is coming out to be this. And then what you have to do, you have to take this value divided by this area, total area. So we will get x bar. You can see here the formula is written over here. So 17.83 millimeter x bar is coming out here. And for y bar, what we have to do, we have to multiply summation of ya. We have to sum up this column with multiply divide by this area, total area. So we will get 42.83 or 42.82 millimeter. So x bar and y bar is coming out this. So this is the centroid. We have calculated centroid. Now the diagram was this. You can see what is the length of the diagram. This is 10 millimeter, 10, 125 millimeter, one rectangle, 1, 2. This is the distribution. Now we have to plot the value which we have calculated for the centroid. We will plot centroid over here. You can see that is to half. This is also half, 125 divided by 2. This is 10 divided by 2. You can see here this is origin. Now what we are going to do, this is 75 minus 10 equals to 65 millimeter. Now this point is how we got x bar, x equals to 17.83. So we will move from where? We will move from origin. It's where when it we comes here, so it is 10 millimeters. Obviously 17.83 somehow somewhere here. So we are just assuming the values and we are taking by assumption. So now an x value is 42.82. 42.82 means 62.5 is here. So it must be lesser than this value. So we will take point here. So now I will put line this and this will be the centroid. The green circle shows you this is the centroid. And you can easily balance this L shape. So if you want, I want to explain one more thing here. GXY, you can write down bar here. And you can say xy 17.83 millimeter is x and y bar is 42.82. So we have plotted here. Now what we have to do, we have to find out the moment of inertia. So how can we do that? Let me tell you. This is moment of inertia. We are going to calculate it. So for this is the diagram, and what we have to do, you can see here. This is rectangle number 1, rectangle number 2, and what is happening over here, this distance you know very well, we have already shown you in the previous slides. Now this is centroid, and what we are going to do, you can see. Now I am going to draw the lines over I have. Okay, one more, I am going to tell you first. From origin up till this point, the length is from here to here is 17.83. This length is 17.83 because of this. So how much length here left? So what we will do, we will subtract 17.83 from the whole length of 75 millimeters. So now you can see here it will come over here. This is 17.83. And how can we calculate this length? So it will come from 75 minus 17.83 equals to 57.17 millimeter is coming out. So next, from centroid, I am taking all the values. Now you can see what is happening over here. So you can see this is 125 minus 42.83 equals to 82.77 millimeter. How is it so? The whole length of this L shape is 125 millimeter. You can see here. So if it is 125 millimeter, so what I have to do, I will subtract this length, which is from here to here, this one, because this is centroid length, which I have got it from centroid of y bar. This is 42.82. So what will happen? I will subtract this amount from 125. So what I will get? I will get this amount. You can see here. So let me rub it. I'm going to erase all in from the slides. So you can see this is 42.82 millimeter. This is x-axis and y-axis. So this x-axis for the centroid and this is y bar is for the centroid. So now this x-axis shows the center point of the rectangle number 1, and this y-axis, this is y-axis, so this is the center of the rectangle number 1. So this is x and y. You can see here this x and this y is on the center of the rectangle number 2. So we have three x-axis and three y-axis, one x-axis and y-axis for the rectangle number 1, x bar and y bar for centroid, and x-axis and y-axis for the rectangle number 2. So what we have to do next? We have to find out, because in the formula we have to find out hx and hy for the moment of inertia. And what is the formula? Then I will tell you after this. So first of all, we have to decide what we have to do. For the rectangle number 1, we have to find out h1x. And how can we find out? We have to take the difference from the centroid x-axis and the x-axis of the rectangle number 1. So what we have to do, we have to find out h1x. So we will subtract this. We have this amount. If we know this amount and we know this amount, so this is the half of the, this amount is the half of the rectangle, 125 divided by 2. So it will be 125 divided by 2. So when is it so? So how can I find out this amount? So when I subtract this amount, 82.17 minus this amount, so I will get this h1x. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to find out this h1x. So how can we get it? 82.17 minus 125 divided by 2. So you can see here. Okay, let me rub it. And now I got it h1x. This is h1x for rectangle number 1. Now what I have to do, I have to find out h2x. So h2x will be the difference from x bars from the centroid to the x-axis of the rectangle number 2. So you can see here from black arrowheads. So h2x. So how can we find out h2x? We know this amount. We know this from this line to this line. We know that this is 42.82. We have already calculated. And when we subtract this amount from this length, and that is 10 divided by 2, you can see over here. So when we subtract this amount, so we will get this amount from brown line to the purple line. So what it will be? 42.82 minus 10 divided by 2. Or you can write down 42.83. So it was 289 something. So it can be 83. So 42.83 minus 10 divided by 2. And you can write 42.82 minus 10 divided by 2. So this is the way to calculate h1x and h2x. Now I am moving towards to calculate h1y and h2y. And how can you do that? So let me erase all ink from the slides. So h1x, we have calculated h2x, we have calculated. Now the term h1y. So h1y for the rectangle number 1 is the distance between the y-axis of the rectangle number 1 and the y bar from the rectangle number, no, not for rectangle number 2, it is for centroid. So the difference between these two y-axis is h2, h1, y. So how can we do that? So when I want to get this uh, value, so what I have to do, I need this length. So this length is 17.83, and we have to subtract this amount 10 divided by 2 from 17.83. So we will get h1y. So you can see here, this is h1y equals to 17, the distance from here to here 17.83, and the distance from here to here, this is half of the 10 millimeter. Half of the 10 millimeter is 5 millimeters, so 10 divided by 2. So h1y is this. So let me erase all ink from the slide. Now for h2y, what I have to do for the rectangle number 2? So what I have to do, h2y, the difference between the y bar and y-axis. So this will be h2y. And how can I calculate it? So for this, I need this length, this whole length, and this whole length is 57.17. We have already calculated it, and we have to subtract this amount. And this amount will be what? The half of this rectangle. So breadth of half breadth of this rectangle. So 65 divided by 2. So it will be 57.17 minus 65 divided by 2. So you can easily see over here, whatever I told you, it will be like this. So this is the difference. So you have calculated h1x, h2x, h1y, h2y. Why do we calculate it? Because there is a requirement in the formula. So we are moving towards the formula for the moment of inertia, and how can we do that? Formula for moment of inertia is, for Ixx is bd cube upon 12 plus ahx square. So this hx, for we have to calculate Ixx for rectangle number 1. For means what? When will get Ixx1. How many rectangles we have? We have 2 rectangles over here. So it will be Ixx1 plus Ixx2. And this is why, if we have 3 rectangles in the question, so what we have to do, Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3. So we have to calculate Ixx separately for rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. For the formula, Iyy db cube upon 12 plus ahy. Same goes here. Iyy equals to Iy1 plus Iy2. So let me tell you on the table. So how can you do that? So you have to generate the table like this. BD, it means breadth and depth of the rectangle, then area, then you have to multiply BD cube upon 12. So how can you do that? If you have you know the BD, so you can easily calculate BD upon 12. BD cube upon 12. Then Hx, you have already calculated H1x, H2x for rectangle number 1, H1x, and for rectangle number 2, H2x. AHX square. So what is it? So AHX square is, we have to calculate it area into HX square. So we have to multiply area with square of this HX. And then what you have to do, you have to add this with this. For example, if I am going to tell you 1 and this is 2, so you have to add these two columns, so you will get Ixx for rectangle number 1, for rectangle number 2, and ultimately you have to sum up. So what you have to do, for rectangle number 1, 10, 125, so you have to multiply 125 into 10, then you have to do BD cube. So put B in the replacement of 10, and then 125 cube divided by 12. So you will get your answer. Then Hx, you have we have calculated H1x. Let me tell you in the slide. Before this, H1x is 82.17 minus 125 divided by 2. So you will get your answer here. So you will calculate it. And 42.83 minus 10 divided by 2, what are the answer is coming out? So I put directly answer over there. So I put answer here directly for rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. So then next what I have to do, I have to square it and multiply with the area, so respective rectangle. So we will get AHX square, then I have to add BD cube upon 12 value, this one and this one, so I will get this amount. Same goes with this, and you have to add, then you have to sum up and you will get your IXX in millimeter power 4. So this is the moment of inertia on x-axis. Now, what I have to do now, I have to calculate Iyy. So for this, the formula is changed somehow. BDA is this dB cube upon 12. So what we have to do, Hy we have already calculated. Let me tell you. Here, here we have calculated H1y here. So I have put the value directly over there. So you have to put the value like this, and when you get it, so what you have to do, so I will put the value in Iyy. So I put value over here Hy and AHY square. So I have to square this and multiply with the area. So what will happen? Iyy plus equals to dB cube upon 12 plus AHY square. So we have to add this amount with this, and then I have to add this with this. So I will get this value and this value, then I will add up, sum up this, and then I will get Iyy. So this is the way to calculate IXS, Iyy and centroid for the irregular shape. Hopefully it will be clear to all of you how, and you will understand it. So if you have any query regarding this topic, you can ask me and you can write me into the chat box. And if you want more videos, so must let me know what do you want it, and what are the problems you are going through. So you must tell me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hopefully you have a good time. Thank you.